Hey friends, what we're going to be working on this week is whole numbers as fractions. So we're going to be taking a look at how we can break apart our shapes into fractions, just like we did up top, and then down here looking at them whenever they're not broken off into fractions, and we call them wholes. So taking a look up here, it says that a whole number can be written as an equivalent fraction. When the numerator and denominator are the same, they name the whole number 1. So here we have one whole shape, and now it's broken off into two parts. And so we can say that 2 halves are shaded, so that also equals the whole thing is shaded, which equals 1. And over here we broke it off into 4/4, and you can take a look that all 4 parts are shaded, so we would say 4/4 are shaded, which also equals 1. And I told my friends in class that if you take a look and you think sort of like that fraction line is sort of like a division sign, 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 4 is 1 as well. So now let's go down here. Whole numbers other than 1 can also be written as fractions. So for example, here we have 4 whole shapes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 whole shapes, which equals 4. And so we can use that as the numerator. And how much are they broken off into? Well, they're just broken off into one whole shape. So again, with our division, if you think about 4 divided by 1, it equals 4. Up here, 4 divided by 4 equals 1. Okay, and then just going over again, if we have 3 wholes, 1, 2, 3, we can say that we have 3 wholes, which equals 3. Or you can put 3 as the numerator because we have 3 total parts. Or 3 parts, and then they are not divided into any equal parts. So that's why we have that 1 as the denominator. And anytime that 1 is the denominator, that is how many wholes we have. Okay, so over here we have 4/1, which is 4 wholes, and this one we have 3/1, which is 3 wholes. Let's practice with this example. Which of the fractions below name a whole number? So first we're going to find the fractions that are equal to 1, and then we're going to find fractions that have 1 as a denominator. Okay, so if you take a look at 3/3 and 6/6, those both equal 1. It would look something like this, for example. So if we have a shape and it's one whole, it's broken off into thirds, and all 3 of them are shaded in, 1, 2, 3, that would be 3/3, and that would equal 1 whole. Same thing if we would break that off into 6. There are my 6 parts, and if all 6 parts are shaded in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that would equal, still I would have 1 whole shape that I have. Okay, so I know that 3/3 and 6/6 do equal 1. So I'm looking for other fractions that equal whole number as well. So we can remember that anything, whenever it has a 1 as the denominator, that equals how many whole parts we have also. So 2/1 would look like this, where I have 2 shapes, and they only have 1 part, so they would both be shaded in to give me 2/1, which equals 1, 2 whole. And this one would look like this. I would have 6 shapes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they would each be one whole part that would be shaded in, and so that would give me 6. So I can see that 2/1 would equal 2, 6/1 would also equal a whole number of 6, but 3 halves, 1/3, and 3 halves would not. 3 halves would look something like this, where I would have a fraction left over. So if we're doing halves, I would need 1, 2, 3. So I don't have a whole number. It doesn't leave me with a whole number. Okay, there's still a half of this that's not shaded in. So that one can't work. And then if I would look at 1/3, I'll go ahead with my thirds over here, and if I have 1/3, that's just a fraction, so I don't have a whole part shaded in either. So as you can see, 3/3, 6/6 equal 1 whole, and 2/1 and 6/1 equals 2 and 6 whole. Let's practice one more time. So what fraction and whole number does this model show? So I'm counting, and I have 1, 2, 3 whole parts. So I'm going to name the number of wholes, so I see that there are 3 wholes. Then I'm going to name the number of parts in each whole, and there is only 1 part. It's not divided into any fraction. So that's where I get 3 wholes as my numerator, and 1 part as the denominator. So the drawing shows 3 over 1, which also equals 3 wholes. 1, 2, 3. All right, friends, go ahead into Schoology, practice this a little bit, and then we'll continue practicing this the rest of the week. Okay, great job, friends.